Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to be joined in the interview room by Cameron Smith. Cam, welcome back to the Masters. Last year was a great year in your golfing career, particularly winning the Open Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have contended in 4 of the last 5 Masters, including 3 top 5 finishes. What is it about Augusta National that suits your game?
I think it reminds me a lot of home in many different ways, I guess. It allows me to be creative. I think the firmness and the fastness of the greens reminds me a lot of the Sandbelt area. And just good memories, I think. I haven't really had a bad week here in a pretty long time. So I'm just really looking forward to getting back out there and seeing the new changes. I haven't seen those yet. Just arrived this morning, so looking forward to another great week.
Great. Over to some questions.
Cam, do you remember much, or can you think back to when you came into this tournament last year, what you felt like the state of your game was arriving here and then compared to this year?
It was probably a little bit better than what it feels like at the moment, to be honest. I remember not last year, the year before, having a pretty big off-season as well. I didn't really spend much time in Australia. Did a lot of hard work in Ponte Vedra and really sorted out a lot of stuff with my swing that I thought had needed fixing for a long time, and used that time to just get better, and it paid off early in the season. I was in contention a few times before the tournament, which was nice, and then came into here and had another really good week. I think the other thing for me is coming back to this place where I've had so many good memories, hit so many good shots. A lot of times I've come in not feeling so good with my game, and it's kind of springboarded me into a kind of nice rest of the season. So I'm kind of hoping that happens again this year. It hasn't really been the nicest start for me. I had a really big off-season in Australia, which I love, spent a lot of time with family and friends, and just haven't quite got back to 100% yet. But like I said, I feel like this place is really comfy for me.
John.
Would you normally get here on a Monday morning?
Yeah, typically I would drive up on a Sunday afternoon and probably play some holes. Given that we played last week, didn't really have that luxury. Spent last night washing some clothes and drying some clothes and then coming up this morning. So just doing a little bit of practice. I feel like I've played this course enough physically, and I've also played this course, I feel like, 1,000,000 times in my head as well. So
A quick follow-up. The biggest change off the course since your first and now your 7th appearance?
I haven't been out there this year. I know the 13th tee has...
Other than the ones on the course, the biggest change that strikes you from when you first came to now?
Personally, it's probably just how comfortable I feel. I feel like the first time I came here, it wasn't really a nice experience. I was a young kid. Didn't really feel like I belonged out here, and I feel like now I show up and I'm ready to go win this thing.
Ian.
Cam, how different does it feel being here as a live player, playing on a different tour, in terms of the preparation opportunities that it's given you, but also just in terms of the current state of golf at the moment, and the kind of conversations that have been going on all year?
Yeah, I think before last year's Masters tournament, I played 4 times. I've played 4 times this year. I don't think I've necessarily played less before the tournament. I think it's more to do with my preparation kind of before I started up. I feel like I'm tournament ready. It's just I've just got a few tweaks here and there to do, and like I said before, I feel like this course maybe finds some of those things, and it just comes naturally. So, I've spent probably an hour out in the range already this afternoon. It was good to see some familiar faces, lots of laughs and lots of handshakes, and it was really nice. I really wasn't sure what I was going to expect walking onto the range, but it was good to see some familiar faces and lots of smiles.
And just to follow up, can you shed any light on the conversations that have been had amongst the live players who are going to be here in terms of potentially a joint celebration come Sunday night behind the 18th green?
There definitely hasn't been a conversation with me. If there was one, I definitely got left out of that one. No, I'm not sure what's going to happen, mate. I guess we'll see how the week unfolds, and for sure I'd love to see one of us guys get up at the top of the leaderboard there and really give it a nice shot.
Gary.
Cam, as you've gained experience around here, can you explain how you assess whether to exhibit caution or take chances on this golf course, and how much that balance has changed from the beginning to your most recent start here?
Yeah, I think for me it's about letting the golf course almost open itself up to you. It's never really a golf course where you can go out and try and make birdies, and I think that's maybe been a part of my game, especially this year, where I feel like I played so good last year, had such a good year. The expectation is really quite high, and you go out there and you try and make stuff happen rather than just letting it come to you. And I feel like you have to be really patient around here. I for sure think there's some second shots to some given pins out in those greens where you have to be quite cautious, and then I think the golf course offers, especially under a bit of a softer ground, I think it offers a lot of birdie chances as well.
Mark.
Hey, Cam. When you look back to last July, obviously winning the Open, that was kind of the pinnacle accomplishment, the highest profile point of your career you're at. And I know you've been very obviously dialed in and immersed in live, but I'm wondering at this point now, as you step away, if you felt at all like because you're not seen as much and live is not as, obviously as big as the tour, if there's any concern about not being as relevant in the world stage, and if you even care about that.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just trying to play the best golf I can. For me, it's frustrating when I'm playing like this on any tour. I think as the live tour grows and as the fields get deeper and stronger and all that stuff unfolds, it's just going to be better and better, and I can't wait to see that unfold personally.
Jamie.
Hi, Cam. Brooks was saying last night how he misses playing against the likes of Rory and Scotty and the rest of the guys. Is that a feeling you share at all? Are there weeks when you'll watch the tour and think, I wish I was playing in that? Yeah, I think for sure there's been a couple of tournaments that I really have enjoyed in the past that I feel like I've missed out on, but at the same time I've made my bed and I'm happy, very, very happy where I am. I'm happy to sleep the bed that I'm in, basically. You don't miss playing against the other guys?
Yeah, I do miss certain tournaments, certain golf courses, I think. I'm looking forward to this week playing against the guys for sure, but I don't know if I necessarily miss playing against any certain guys.
Doug.
Well, thanks, Cam. You talked about the hugs and handshakes and whatnot when you walked onto the range. What were you expecting?
I wasn't really sure, to be honest. I was just kind of letting it all kind of happen naturally. Went out onto the range, did my stuff, and did my work, and it was just a really nice experience. So I don't know. I didn't want to expect too much, but at the same time, I kind of wanted that, not only for myself, but just for the game of golf. I think there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment that doesn't need to be going on, especially in the media. I think it's definitely wound up a little bit too much.
Secondly, when you talked about hoping to see some live players up there on the leaderboard, just like I'm sure you'd like to see whoever your mates are previously up there. Why do you think or do you think it's important that there are live golfers up there high on the leaderboard Sunday, and if so, why?
I think it's just important for the live guys to be up there because I think we need to be up there. I think there's a lot of chatter about these guys don't play real golf. These guys don't play real golf courses. For sure, I'll be the first one to say the fields aren't as strong. I'm the first one to say that, but we still got a lot of guys up there that can play some really serious golf, and we competed against each other hard week in, week out, and we're trying to do the same thing as what we did 6 months ago. And it's nice. It's a good feeling to have that competition, and it's good to see Brooks win last week. He's playing some really good golf again, and I think we just need a good, strong finish.
Mary Kate.
Hey Cam, can you describe your feelings and mindset on the first tee and how that can change from Thursday to potentially Sunday?
This is probably one of the tournaments for me where I get the most nervous, I guess. I think that first tee, just the kind of crowd, the feeling, the atmosphere you get around here is unlike anywhere else, and just gives me goosebumps thinking about it coming Thursday. And I think and then Sunday's almost a different monster when you're stepping up with a lead or in contention. You really have to learn how to control all those emotions, and to be honest, for me, it's once I hit that first tee shot, I generally calm down a little bit and can really start to see the round unfold. But that half an hour before it is, it's not nice. But it's something you look forward to.
Tim.
Cam, obviously you wear the maroon on Sundays because you're a big fan of the Origin team and you take a lot of inspiration from Origin. In the past, I was wondering if you caught many rugby league games this season. You have the Broncos 5-0 your team.
The Bronx are going pretty good this year. It's good to see, actually. I've watched a lot of highlights this year. I think the boys are playing too early over here. They're generally playing at about 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So I get up and don't check the phone and just re-watch the game. And they're playing really good footy. It's really nice to see.
Riath.
Cameron, just to expand on one of your earlier answers, you said you think a little bit too much is being made around the sort of live narrative. Could you just build on that and sort of tell me specifically what it is you think?
I just think there's too much rubbish going on, basically. For me, like I said, out there, I've spent an hour out there and seen lots of familiar faces, lots of smiles and hugs, and it's been nice. I don't think there's any kind of hatred going on between the players. We're all happy where we are, and I'm just as happy for the guys winning out on the PGA Tour as I am for the live golfers as well.
Just one on the logos as well. Obviously, it always makes it gets attention when the live guys wear the logos. Is that a contractual obligation to wear them?
Yeah, basically. For me personally, I have another set of clothes made up this week without them. We haven't really heard much from Augusta National about the logos. And for me personally, I'm really proud of where I'm at and what I'm doing. And unless it's a problem for these guys, I'm going to wear it.
So did you bring the unmarked clothes with you and just wait for a tap on the shoulder and get told to get changed?
Basically, yeah.
John.
Cam, when you talk about how you were received on the range, were you concerned if it hadn't gone that way? Would you have considered yourself distracted? Would it have bothered you?
I'm not really sure. That's a bit of a hypothetical question. I'm really happy with how it's going at the moment. I don't know how the rest of the week is kind of going to unfold. I haven't really seen much of the crowd. That's another kind of thing for me. But, Augusta National is first class, and that's what we kind of expected this week.
How much of the players did you watch?
Of the players...
The tournament.
Oh, the tournament?
Yeah.
Probably a few holes. I actually spent most of the weekend kind of hanging out with mates, and we did a little bit of fishing, so it was nice to... all the residents seemed to be at the golf course, so we kind of had the water to ourselves. It was kind of nice.
Jimmy.
Yes. Cam, last year was obviously competitively very, very special for you. And by your own admission, this year not going quite that well. I wonder if you've reflected on at all what you did last year that might be missing this year.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in that stuff. I've always been kind of a process, I guess, kind of person, getting to the golf course, getting in the gym, just ticking the boxes and making sure I'm better every day. I think, like I said before, I had probably a bit too much time off at the end of the year. And, things are feeling good, they just haven't quite meshed. I feel like I've had weeks where I've hit the driver really well, which is, a pretty rare thing for me, and then haven't had the best short game week, and then other weeks you've had a really good short game week and you've missed a few fairways. So it's just about putting all that stuff together. And like I said before, I feel like this is a place where it kind of comes pretty naturally for me. But we'll just kind of see how it goes.
Anand.
Thank you. Cam, here. I want to ask you, you, in many ways, I think you're kind of way ahead of where your current tour is. And in those circumstances, how challenging it is for you to kind of keep in touch with your best golf and try and keep it going while the competition on that tour may not be commensurate to your talents?
I think the competition's there. Just not playing really good golf at the moment, and I'm trying to fix that.
Anything specific you're working on, Cam, at the moment?
For me, the swing feels really good at the moment. The short stuff feels really, really nice. I'm just working on kind of getting a little bit more creative, hitting some different shots into the greens. I feel like I've been maybe a little bit too one-dimensional for a lot of the time this year, and I think that gets back to just kind of being comfortable out in the golf course and really feeling like all your stuff is there, and it just hasn't quite clicked. So this place for me is I feel like I have to be creative. To get to some of those pins, you have to hit the big high cut, you have to hit the low sweeping draw into a back pin, and I'm looking forward to getting out there tomorrow and just falling back in love with this place.
Evan.
Yeah, up here, mate. What excites you most about your game leading into this week, and do you feel you can win? Are you confident that you can win?
Yeah, I'm confident that I can win. Like I said, there's lots of stuff, particularly last week, I think, that was a really big positive. I had it going there yesterday afternoon to not really finish that well. And I feel like there was lots of really nice stuff to kind of get out of that. Just a few things to clean up and, get back on this golf course, and I think I'll be away.
Yeah, just to follow that up, now that you're here, do those good vibes come back from last year and from 2020 and some of the other good finishes that you've had here? Does it instantly come back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, driving down Magnolia Lane, there's like almost, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like a love for this place. This is my happy place, and I love being here. And I feel like no matter how I've played here in the past, I've always been somewhat happy with how the week's gone. So, yeah, lots of good memories and lots of good times here. I love the caddy shack. Spent a lot of time in there and eating some ham and cheese sandwiches. That's one of my things. I think I had about 25 last year, so I'll try and beat that by a few this year. And yeah, it's just such an awesome place.
Thanks.
Joy.
Yeah. I've asked this to you before, and you said that one of the things that you really want to do after making the switch is do a lot for the junior golf and other things in Australia. And we were talking to Harrison Crow over here, and he said that he's going to play tomorrow with you, Adam, and Min Woolley. And Min Woolley and Harrison are such big fans of yours. What are the kind of things that you're going to talk to them when you have that round tomorrow?
Yeah, not much really. I think you know, hopefully they just ask us a few questions. You know, Scotty's obviously played pretty well around here as well. I think there is a few things out there that are a bit tricky, and you know, I just hope they learn something from the older guys, and maybe take something that they can take into the week and make them 1 or 2 shots better, and they have a really good week. That's all we can really hope for.
Cam, thanks for that. We wish you all the best for the week ahead.
Thanks, guys.